Hi everyone, this is Lahari studying in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today's topic is Arduino Uno from the subject Internet of Things. The contents for the topic includes introduction, exploring of Arduino Uno and basic fundamentals. Introduction. Arduino Uno, it is an open source advancement prototyping platform which depends on simple to and utilize the equipments and programming. Arduino Uno can read the inputs such as detecting the power and light, even triggered by a button or a Twitter message, and can respond into an yield. An Arduino, it is a small computer that can use a program to read information from the world around you and sends the commands to the outside world. Arduino is, as you know, that it is a tiny computer that can connect to the electrical circuits. This makes it easy and read the input and control the output sends to a command outside. Why we should choose Arduino? It is inexpensive. The Arduino boards are relatively inexpensive compared to the other microcontroller platforms. This is the least expensive version of the Arduino modules and can be assembled by hands. Cross-platform. The software runs on the Windows OS and the Linux operating software systems. It is simple, clear programming environment. The Arduino programming environment, it is easy to use for the beginners and also flexible for the advanced users to take advantages of any programming languages. Open source and it is extensible software. The Arduino software, it is published and as open source tool available for the extension by expertised programmers. The language can be expanded through C++ libraries, open source and inextensible hardware as well. So it is based on the Atmel ATMG microcontroller. Even relatively inexperienced users can build the breadboard version of the module in order to understand how it works and save money. Exploring of Arduino Uno. So here comes the reset button, and also there is a jack connected to the system software, and there is a power jack, and there are two sets of the power pins, and there is an analog input pin and a microcontroller, and you'll have the power LED. So we'll in the next slide we'll see how these the function works. Microcontroller. The 80 mega 328p is an Arduino Uno brain. Everything on the Arduino boards is meant to support this controller. Then digital pins. Arduino Uno has a 14 digital pins labeled from 0 to 13 that can act as an input or output, and will have the PWM pins. These are the digital pins marked with the pin numbers 11, 10, 9, 6, 5 and so on. So PWM pin stands for pulse width modulation and allows to make the digital pins output fake a varying amount of the voltages. Then TX and RX pins, digital pins 0 and 1. The T stands for transmit and R stands for receive. LED attached to the digital pin 13. This is useful for the easy debugging of the Arduino Uno sketches. Analog pins. These analog pins are labeled from A0 to A5 and can be often used to read the analog sensors. Moving on to the power pin, the Arduino has 3.3 volts or 5 volts supply. This will really helpful for the components which require these set of the voltages. Then reset pins. Reset pins, it is a press type button. The programmer that is currently being running in your Arduino will start from the beginning when you press the reset button. Power on LED. It will help for the power is supplied to the Arduino. USB jack. Connecting a male USA to a male USB cable is how you upload the programs from your computer to your Arduino boards. Next, the power jack. The power jack is where you connect a component to the power up your Arduino. Fundamentals of Arduino. The Arduino IDE supports the languages C and C++ using the special rules of code structuring. The Arduino IDE supplies a software libraries for wiring the project, which provides many common input and the output procedures. User written code only requires two basic program functions from the starting that sketch a main program loop that is compiled and linked with a programming stub main into an executable cyclic executable program with a GNU toolchain, also referred to as the IDE distribution. A minimal Arduino C or C++ program that consists of only two functions. One is a setup function and the second is a loop. So coming to setup function, this function is called once when a sketch starts after power up or reset. It is used to initialize the variables, inputs or output pins, modes and other libraries needed in the sketch. Loop function. After the setup function exists, that is ends, the loop function is executed repeatedly in the main program. It controls the board until the board is powered off or it is in reset. Here you can see one example that has been displayed. Define LED pin 13. The LED pin 13 is that a pin number attached to the LED, that is 13. Void setup function. The setup function that is pin mode, LED pin and it is a output. So it will configure pin 13 to be a digital output. Now after setup function we'll move to the loop function where it has a digital write functioning with the LED pin and high. So where it turns on the LED. Then you'll have the delay of 1000 where it should wait for 1 second. Then afterwards you'll have the digital write LED pin and low. That is if the low function is defined here, it is turn off the LED. Then delay 1000. That is you have to wait for 1 second. This is a sample example of the functions shown here.